Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? For right now, it's just be by myself. I do apologize. It might be like a short show. Um, I'm not too sure if Erasmo's coming in, dropping by real quick to make comments of anything and what's not. Hoping Roman swings by as well. Um, and now, quickly for the weather. I know it's been raining steady since last night. And they're already reporting some puddles here and there. Hopefully, everybody stays dry and safe. But I was gonna make a quick show, just check in with you guys. 5-10 minutes. I do apologize. After being Harlingen, like in about around 10 or before 10 actually. Um, but how's everybody doing? Um, was hoping Roman come in real quick. Yesterday was pretty. It was pretty good show to be honest. To 5 people in the plat commenting at the same time, more or less. But it was good information. We're starting to see like the bigger, clear picture of what is the arena coming to. I do understand that there's like a lot of pushing, a lot of posters everywhere. Even the 18 wheeler over here on 100. Um, but man, and I do understand everybody has their own opinion. Everybody has their own comments towards it. Like some people do want it, and yes, I, at the end to, I guess Cameron County or Bronzeville, whoever's gonna get it. I guess at one point they do deserve it, but everything comes with a price, and everything should be um, done fiscally responsible. Um, hey, how's it going, Ray? Good morning. And I do apologize. I do sound a little bit hoarse on the voice. I don't know what happened from last night to today. I really don't know what happened. Maybe it's the weather. Um, but yes, that going back to the whole arena thing. I know it's like starting with a sour note for the day, um, but wanting to changing it back to a on a good note. I'm not too sure how true this is, but people that are involved with, I guess, the whole school stuff. I just saw a message. I don't know who this guy is, but there's a Jack Ewan, I guess, that they're having like some sort of like a tailgate party at Stargate, but they're asking, I guess, mariachi groups from schools to compete, and I guess you gotta sign up with them. And the good thing about this is whoever wins gets a 3D printer. I don't know how much they cost for the school to get 3D printers, but and in a way it's cool, and in a way I don't think it like it's. I see it as sad that sometimes schools or groups have to go through all these loops to be getting things for the schools. Even though we have like one of the biggest school districts south of San Antonio, but in this by the same token, there is some sort of whoever's all into like all that space exploration stuff. There is a mariachi contest. Start to the Starbase tailgate party. 3D printers for the winning schools as prizes. I guess not too sure if they're going to be giving more than one, since it is saying that to the winning schools. Um, but yeah, well, going back to the rhythm. Sorry. Um, I do know that more than 1,000 people did vote yesterday. Um, some people saw it as a good thing, which means that maybe more people are becoming proactive. Um, but I know that it is. I think in Bronzeville, it's only like what 90,000 people that are registered voters out of the 200,000 people that actually live here, and out of those 90,000 people, I believe only I want to say 9,000 people actually vote. So if you could start getting more people involved in this process, because at the end of the day, it does affect everybody in one way or another. It could be an immediate uh, reaction to it, or immediate effect to it, or in the long run, uh, be it with just your siblings right now, or in the long run, being like with whatever you do right now, it's going to affect your children's future. Um, so maybe you do want an arena for your children, maybe you don't because it's going to affect them, and then they're the ones that end up getting the short end of the stick. Um, but that's why you have to get people to vote. Um, but yeah, if you would comment, and if you're watching on YouTube, go ahead and like that page. Drop a comment, drop some questions. Like I said, it's just gonna be a short show. If anything, I think I want to be on maybe like another till 9:15, and that's as much as I can do for the morning. Um, I didn't see anything new besides as far as like the city, um, anything going on. Besides, some people are already starting to comment about not seeing the feasibility report on the ballot. They were seeing that it was the whole 9 yards. Let me see what this says real quick. Vicente Martinez, how's it going, man? Good day to you. Good morning, Sam. Do you know if the arena vote is just for a study or built arena? Well, based on the ballot, man, it says it's the whole 9 yards, not just a feasibility study. Um, Normally, you want to do the feasibility study before you even start the whole commotion of trying to make a proposition. Um, I would understand that after you make the whole uh, voting, you would want to make like some sort of like a survey to where you start figuring out where exactly it would fit in all the parking lot spaces and do all that surveying. Um, but for a feasibility study, you want to do that before, and you try to figure out who's going to foot the bill for that. I know that they're asking for 33 million, um, and then the other part because it's 100 million in total, and he had said that like they have the money for it, but they're just trying to include the county in it, and this, and that they also had donated that land to the county. If I'm not sure if it's already after it gets approved, or if it's already been donated to the county, the area where they want to put the arena. But as far as just a study or if it's to build the whole thing, according to the once you go vote, man, you're gonna see like it's gonna be a whole paragraph of wording, which is the usual uh, contract verbiage um, as far as the whole wording. But it literally states there from beginning to end all what they want to do with what it includes with that voting, and it's like to build the whole arena, but to I guess to include the county to be able to make those use that money towards that. And hopefully I answered your question, but yes, I know that the early election it's going on right now. Most of them I want to say close at 7. And then, uh, as far as what I heard, I think it's Sunday is the only day that there's not going to be any voting, and then the actual election day will be May 7th. Ray says, "Yes, vote is simply a bad move. The winning move is to vote no." And I understand, man, because I like look. I'm not just we're not just being negative here. We're going based on like the numbers. We're trying to be like adults about this, and make sure that it's a visible move. Like if it's a responsible move. It's like how they had said before. Like you don't jump into buying a house if you don't have the means for it. And right now, I don't think the county has the means for it, especially if whenever they make parties and only a certain amount of people show up. Like if it was like whenever if they're to do concert at the sports arena, uh, and like a whole lot of people would show up, then and if it's constantly, it would make sense. Like hey, you know what? Maybe people around here like going to concerts, and there's a whole lot of vendors, and it will make perfect sense to what make an arena and make this expand, for a better word of a choice of word. um but if you're having shows, you're having concerts in downtown, and only like about 200-300 people show up, because as it is, man. Like before, where I remember when more or less would do studies of like how many people actually go out in Bronzeville, comparing because you all the restaurants will be like jam packed, but they only had so many restaurants, and I understand people would go out to other places, but it is what it is. If there was to be like more feedback from people saying like, hey, you know what, it's out there, or the money's there, or there should be more clarity on the numbers, and I'll try to, I guess, cite if the county judge would not be able to be um, kind of like on the show from the Craig Grove, if he would not give that information as far as like, oh, it's just a feasibility study, and then it comes out to like, oh, well, according to the ballot, it's showing a lot more than a feasibility study. Um, Hopefully that makes sense. The numbers just don't match up, and I understand, because what I was doing was that I looked up like Jay-Z how much he charges, and he charges about $3 million, and then that's what they're gonna pay him. You still need what you're gonna pay the employees who work that day, the expenses the arena is gonna take. You're still gonna pay many more people, so that's just 3 million is just what your bare minimum, and that would, at 10,000 people, at 10,000 seats, if everything was sold out at a minimum, everything would have to be like at 300 something, like 350, I believe. That was the math that I had done. And and people were like, we want a bigger arena so we could be paying like $75 or $80, $100 at most for concert tickets, which just sounds a little bit more reasonable, like $100, not that bad for a ticket. Yeah, because not everybody's gonna be wanting to pay like $1,000 for a ticket. Like it's ridiculous. But no, the arena would just sit there and get full of cobwebs. Brownsville will not spend that kind of money to bring high price groups to Brownsville. Yeah, and I understand they were wanting to just build it and have somebody else manage it. Uh, be it, I think there was like a concert live, or Aramark. They're trying just to like, okay, we have the building, but then have someone else manage it and run it. Um, but yeah, that would be the minimum. Good morning. If someone is not registered to vote, where can he and she and can they register at voting site? I would want to say that's a question for Roman, but I think you are able to register at the voting sites. Although I would have to confirm that with Roman. He's more informed of that information. Um, but I wouldn't say that, because I know that there was like a date a couple of days back that they were saying that it was the last day to register. But if you already registered once, that's all you need. Unless you're like barely turned 18, then yes, you have to register to vote. Um, but if you, I would still take the chance of just taking the ID and tell them that this is your first time, and hopefully they register you there, and then you're able to place your vote. And that's another thing when you when you guys go vote, please take at least one or two people. Make a difference. Let's start making a difference. From those 9,000 people, where everybody takes two people, that's another 18,000 people. So in a total of 27,000 people will be voting instead of just 9,000 people. If they sell 5,000 seats per event, then might work. However, this must happen for 60 events a year. No way. They're telling you lies. It's too late to vote at this election if you're not registered to vote. Thank you, Ray, for that information. But yeah, because I know when you get your license, they do ask you there if you want to register to vote. And whenever you renew your license, get your license, and then I know that they send out um, like little forms to the addresses whenever there's people with new license if they want to register to vote. But I guess if it's too late, it's too late. Hopefully, if you're able to help by spreading the word and informing people, even if it's just showing the people the pros and cons. Don't just be like, oh, negative Nancy all the way with this arena. Showing the pros and cons, like, hey, you know what? This is the pros of it. This is the cons of it. Um, you take the risk. Take the risk of making your own decision on this. And I do apologize for having such a short show. I wish Rowan would jump in here to answer a couple of more questions from you guys. But yeah, like Ray said, if it's too late to vote at this election if you have not registered yet. Um, but hopefully you can still register for the following election. There will be more in this year. Morning, Sam. Hey, how's it going, man? Hanging in here. um, but yeah, man. Going back to trying to bring it back to some good news here. Besides the weather and having some flooded areas, and I know that some lights went out. I know there's some elementaries that, well, not elementaries. Trying to make it in plural, but I know there's some elementary that lights went out. But hopefully, everybody stays safe. Um, if you have guys have no more questions, yeah, you missed that part, Ray. I already said the weather. That was like my second quick point in the second minute or something. But I do apologize, guys. I'm not too sure who's. I think hopefully Erasmo will be on tonight with Roman, and I don't know who else will be joining us today. I'll try to make it. Not too sure if I will. Um, but I'll let you guys go. You guys have a good day, um, and see you later on. Bye bye.